They charge you $55 if you want to take a bag on the plane. They charge
Such
you
nonsense.
They charge you for
As a carry-on?
Yes.
Oh my god.
They charge you for everything, and they act like they're doing you a fucking favor. So if you go on their website, it's like, we have such low fares, or it's like $3 for water, because if you don't want water, why should you have to pay for it? Have it built into your ticket price. Like, they act like, oh, the fares are so low, and like, why should we make you, maybe you don't want water.
Right.
And it's like total bullshit. So because I flew United Airlines on the way home, my ticket was less than my Spirit ticket. And you know what they gave me, Spirit? Fucking water. They let me take a fucking bag on. They give me fucking peanuts. I have fucking dignity. There's leg room. There's a fucking TV. It's ridiculous. They just rape you and then claim they're doing you a favor. It's no better. And then their customer service is their Twitter feed. And on their Twitter it says, we don't want to upcharge you guys by having an expensive social media team, so we just have an automated system. And it literally...
Does it really say that?
Yeah, and it literally shows a robot that's like asleep at a desk.
Nice.
Like, they say, hey, we know we're overcharging you, and the experience is horrible, and your flight's not going to take off, and we know you're going to complain, and we want you to know we don't give a shit.
We don't care.
So our sleepy robot will ignore you. So I was just sending the tweet out.
It's a good business model.
I know. Well, I read an article. I started Googling them like crazy, and the CEO is some insane megalomaniac who takes great pride. He said they're like the most profitable airline. It's like, yeah, because you screw everybody over.
Well, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So you would assume no one would fly them anymore.
Well, it is. Here's the thing. You can pretty much always find a ticket that's as cheap or cheaper than Spirit if you're like diligent and you look early. Whereas they're always like a Spirit Airlines ticket is probably always $120 or $150. Whereas the other airlines, some days it might be $300, some days it might be $100. So I think their thing is like they're always that low. Whereas if you look hard, you can find the other airlines for that low, but it's not really a guarantee. And also,
Edited because it's an urban German bourbon.
So I started tweeting at them, and I'm like, I don't know what's worse, my dad leaving when I was 9 or flying Spirit Airlines. Hey, I want my refund. You guys can give it to me in pennies. I know you like being dicks, so I feel like it's a good compromise. And I just tweeted one after another, and I watched them respond to every tweet but mine. They completely ignored me. So I'm going to give them, I'm going to give them a round 2 of tweets. So anyway, the point was, I got on the plane, and they told me my suitcase was not too big, that I could take it on for free. And then the next day, they told me it was $55.
Wow.
And I was like, no, I got on your fucking plane yesterday, and you told me it was fine. And the guy goes, oh, somebody made a mistake.
Well.
And I said, so I'm paying for your mistake? And he was like, yeah. And I don't
paid for it. It was just a mistake that you didn't get charged in the first place. You don't really get grandfathered in.
Oh,
yes, you do. That's customer service 101.
Yeah, exactly. The 100% customer service.
I was at the gate, and somebody else looked. I said to their employee, "Is this fine?" And they said, "Yeah."
Right.
But that was the next day with a different employer.
Same day, but both days, I was told that suitcase was fine until I was getting on the plane.
And so they charge you actually like in
at
person
the gate
as you're walking on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I did a lot of yelling. I did all the cliche things where I'm like, "You feel good about yourself having this job?"
Did you really?
No, I did all that stuff. Yeah, I went really crazy.
That doesn't get you anywhere though.
Well, I could tell I wasn't getting anywhere, so I just went for broke. What their strategy is when
that's my breakup strategy.
Their strategy is while you're complaining, they just walk around and do other work and don't look at you or listen.
Wow.
So while you're screaming, they're just doing other shit, and then they come back a minute later and like, all right, yeah, so $55, you got it? Like so that was awful.
Right, because they know you're not gonna leave it behind. You got to get on the plane. So like you're stuck. You've already paid for the plane ticket. They won't let you on the plane with the bag, and you're not gonna leave the bag there.
They win either way, because if you're like, fine, I'm not getting on this plane, then they're like, okay, we'll take that money that you already spent anyway.
Right. Not like, we're not gonna fund you.
So I just said to the guy, I said, this is fucking bullshit. And everybody in the line looked at me, and then he just like started typing on the computer and was just like, yeah, so it's $55. So we missed a whole day. So what?
They're probably used to it by now. What are they going to do? Sit there and argue with you?
Well,
sir, it's $55. Like, there's not really much they can say or do.
Well, what they could do is let me on the plane without charging me $55, Jacob. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
they
not their
could-
policy, though.
That's
Right.
what they
They
could do.
They could be.
They have
could
no
maybe-
policy. Changes every
maybe you
day,
should've-
apparently.
Maybe you should have flown an airline that doesn't charge you for bags.
I
That
knew
would've been
Jacob would try to
smart.
turn it on me the whole time.
Oh
I
my
thought it
God.
would be really funny.
That's their policy. I could have told you
That's
that.
not-
I know that they charge
But
extra
if
for
2
bags.
out of 3 employees say it's not their policy,
It is their
their
policy, Jacob, and then they told me that I was fine.
Right.
It's not like I waltzed
So
in
they-
there. It's not like I didn't know the rule, waltzed in there, and then complained.
Did you call them, or was it?
What
So
in
what
the
would happen
fuck
if
He
one of
were
the
made
you
it
first
on
ones?
the
talking
plane
about?
the day before.
I was sitting-
You had made it on. You had made it on the plane the day before.
So what would you have done if one of the first ones told you no?
You would have
You
paid
would have
it.
just thrown the bag away?
I would have said, okay, so this bag is too big, so I have to pay.
Right. But
But
after
they
being
told me it was
told-
not too big. Twice.
Well, what would have
Right.
changed? Could you have gone home and switched out for a smaller bag, or would you have had to pay?
What the
Or throw the
fuck
bag
are you
away.
talking about?